So hey guys, in today's video I want to show you how to set up your Z7 and Z6 camera to get good cinematic transitions and autofocus tracking, and how to add them to your My menu for quick access, so you won't have to waste time messing around with this when you're on the fly shooting in the field. So in your My menu, what you want to add is limit monitor mode selection, AF tracking sensitivity, and AF speed. My image review and silent photography are just there for stills, but having the AF tracking sensitivity and the AF speed at your fingertips without having to go through the menu every single time you want to change it while you're shooting on the fly is pretty priceless. And also you want to have the limit monitor mode selection at your fingertips as well, since sometimes the Ronin S or any gimbal um, can swing in front of your eyepiece and it'll turn your display off while you're shooting. That can be really frustrating. You want to be able to see what you're doing at all times. So let's set this up right now. So the first thing I'd add is the limit monitor mode selection, and go in and only check monitor only. That way, if anything swings in front of your eyepiece from your gimbal or otherwise, it won't black out the LCD while you're filming, because you can't focus on what you want to focus on if you can't see. I've had this happen to me, several times, and I just put it in my menu so I could get to it quickly whenever I was recording. A couple times in my videos when I'm like doing the roll motion or something close to the ground, and I have the Ronin completely held outright, the roll wheel gets in front of the eyepiece and it completely blacks it out and I can't see anything. So I just completely turn that off while I'm shooting video. That way, if anything gets in front of it, I can still see what I'm doing. And whenever you're doing stills, if you need to look through the viewfinder, just hop right into my menu and turn it back on. So for smooth transitions and cinematic type of focusing and the AF tracking sensitivity, the sweet spot that I found is on number 2. So try it out on number 2, and like I said, since it's in your My menu, if it's transitioning too fast or too slow, you can go ahead and just go and toggle it on and off um, to a higher or lower setting. For AF speed, I have mine on +3, and I find that to work really well with following people, and as long as you have a gimbal and a nice smooth motion, that's right where I need to be. And I've tried pretty much every single setting. I will say with non-Nikon lenses, it tends to just jump around. My Sigma R35 jumps no matter what speed I have it on. Occasionally, if it loses focus for too long, it'll jump back into focus no matter where it's at. My Nikon lenses on the FTZ adapter work a lot smoother, and they pretty much stick to what the speed dictates. So this walkthrough is set up for your information when you're shooting videos. So the profile that I have is flat, and I'm just shooting the basic 8-bit internal flat profile, which gives me great results color grading. Movie quality is high, obviously, and 1080p 30 frames per second for slow motion. That's 4 times slower than real life speed. Um, your you'll be in DX crop on the Z7, which I have right now in my hands. The Z6 won't crop. So if you go back to something that's 24 frames per second, you'll be in effects mode, which is a full sensor readout. On the Z6, you'll be in full sensor readout no matter what, unless you put it in DX mode manually. Electronic VR, I turn that off. I don't need that messing up my footage. I'm using a gimbal anyway, the Ronin S. So AF area, I have this to auto area AF, and that's on face detect. You don't have to do anything in this menu to turn face detect on. It should already be on. And this is just a quick model walking at the camera through the light with these settings and face detect on, and it worked actually really well. She turned around, it lost her face like it should. Had to turn all the way around so it'd lose her face, and it came back in a nice fluid motion. So that works well. If it can't find the face, and just click on the screen, tap on the screen, and it'll put a box around your subject and it'll track that. Especially if it's not a person, you just have to click on the subject. So in this, I have it on full-time AF, AFF, and that'll continually look for something to focus on and continue to focus no matter what. Vibration reduction, I have it on just because that's what we pay for on these cameras now. We have VR and built into the body, as well as certain lenses. Active D-lighting, turn that off. Metering, I just have it set on the first setting, which is spot, I think. I don't really mess with that. And the white balance, I have mine set on auto white balance for video. For stills, I'm in Kelvin. I think I'm at 4900 at the moment is where my sweet spot is. So I hope this helps you guys out. I been getting a lot of questions about how I have my Z7 and Z6 set up for getting the smooth transitions, and I've done a lot of testing, and this is pretty much, you know, all I've been doing. I will say I'm not going to give you guys a crash course on how to shoot video, but what you need to also have is a variable ND filter, and set your ISO, you know, as low as you can get it. Don't leave it on auto ISO. Set your ISO as low as you can get it, and then adjust the amount of exposure you have coming in, or light, from the variable ND filter. And don't cheap out on the ND filter. You know, you spend all this money on getting a nice camera and lenses and stuff like that. Spend the $130, $140 it is to get the Tiffin. I mean, it's a pretty good filter, and it's a variable state. You can let in, I think, from 3 stops to 10 stops on the one I have, and you only need to buy one filter. You can go ahead and get the step up and step down rings. I have them for the whole lineup. I have the 58 1.4G, which is a small filter size, all the way up to the 105 1.4E, which is pretty humongous, and it works fine on all those lenses. So if you guys have any other questions or need any other advice, just holler at me. Okay, see you guys later.